Good afternoon, folks. This is Deb, and this is your short take. So, what is today? Does anybody know what today is? October 14th? Today is the day uh, that we are honoring. I'm reading this. This is the title of the House Resolution 719 that was passed on September 19th, honoring the life and legacy of Charlie James Kirk. Okay? This is that day, today. Okay? And the reason I continue to bring up Charlie Kirk is because there are 95 Democrats who helped to pass this resolution. When in fact, the House is owned by the Republican Party. Now, I'm not advocating for killing anyone. I don't believe in political violence. The killing of Charlie Kirk was a tragedy. But we need to remember who Charlie Kirk was. We had the Democratic Party join forces with a party that is pushing for Donald Trump and his vision of America as a fascist state. And that vision of authoritarian rule was supported by Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA. Okay? Not only that, Charlie Kirk espoused hate. The Southern Poverty Law Center has deemed Turning Point USA a hate group, and that's what it is. Okay? Charlie Kirk regularly attacked the LGBTQ community, saying that God's perfect law says that gay people should be stoned to death. He claimed the Civil Rights Act was a huge mistake. He claimed that Martin Luther King was an awful person. He mocked the 2023 political assault on Nancy Pelosi's husband and suggested that someone should bail him out of jail. He even attempted to link Minnesota Governor Tim Walz to the shooting of Walz's close friend and ally, State Senator Melissa Hortman, and her husband. Both died at the hands of a right-wing assailant. Charlie Kirk blamed the decline of the American men on trans equality, saying that people should have just took care of trans people the way they used to take care of things in the 50s and 60s. Let me explain something to you. The Democrats who voted for this, I'm going to read all of their names off before this video is over. The Democrats who voted for this said that they did it so that they could make a statement against political violence. Well, you know something, folks? You can make a statement against political violence without elevating Charlie Kirk to sainthood. We flew our flags at half-mast for him when the Republican Party balked at doing that for Jimmy Carter. We didn't fly anything at half-mast for Melissa Hortman and her husband, or, in fact, for the other two legislators who were also attacked by the same assailant but survived. These people were attacked, by the way, in their homes, not while they were making a hate speech. Now, some Democrats are saying they were afraid that if they voted against it, something would happen to them. We need people of moral fortitude and courage while we're facing fascism in America, not chicken shits. People have done more than you and are still walking around. Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger. You're afraid, so you voted to elevate Charlie Kirk. And let's just say one thing here. Just because he allowed people to disagree with him doesn't mean that it was okay what he was saying. None of it is okay. So here are the names of the 95 Democrats who voted for this travesty, okay? Now, this was passed in September. and it's a done deal. And Donald Trump's talking about maybe making this a national holiday? Oh, hell no. So let me tell you what I think people who are Democrats ought to do. It's never too late, okay? This barely got any press until it was all done, by the way. And it took forever to get the 95 names. But I've got them. And I'm going to read them off, and I'm going to read the states. And I'm going to tell you the legislators who voted for this who are openly LGBTQ+, because I can't imagine anyone elevating this guy to sainthood, saying the stuff he said about gay people and transgender people. These people, I'm gay, these people are a huge disappointment to me. These people need to hear from you, their constituents, that we see them and we know what they did. And yes, it cannot be undone. And no, I'm not suggesting we don't vote for these people again. But these people need to know that this was not appropriate. It is not appropriate to elevate someone who espoused so much hate towards so many different people. A man who was a misogynist. A man who was a racist. A man who was a homophobe. And expressed his views so freely. A man who would never have been elevated the way he was without a robust right to free speech, which is now being taken away from everybody else. A man who spread all of this to the youth of America by traveling around to college campuses, raising the next generation of MAGA kids. This was not appropriate. And, you know, for Jamie Raskin to say, or for Hakeem Jeffries to say that they weren't going to fall into the trap by not voting for this, they needed to stand against political violence. They fell into the trap. This was the trap. Voting yay for this was the trap. So here is the list of names. Aguilar, California. Ansari, Arizona. Auchincloss, Massachusetts. Ballant, Vermont, LGBTQ+. Berra, California. Boyle, Pennsylvania. Budzinski, Illinois. Case, Hawaii. Chu, California. Clark, Massachusetts. My representative, huge disappointment. Correa, California. Costa, California. Courtney, Connecticut. Craig, Minnesota, another LGBTQ+ member of Congress. Crow, Colorado. Cuellar, Texas. Davis, North Carolina. Dean, Pennsylvania. DeLauro, Connecticut. Del Bene, Washington. DeLuzio, Pennsylvania. Dingell, Michigan. Elfreth, Maryland. Fletcher, Texas. Foster, Illinois. Gillen, New York. Golden, Maine. Vicente Gonzalez, Texas. Gottheimer, New Jersey. Gray, California. Harder, California. Himes, Connecticut. Houlihan, Pennsylvania. Hoyer, Maryland. Huffman, California. Jeffries, New York. Marcy Kaptur, Ohio. Keating, Massachusetts. Landsman, Ohio. Larson, Washington. Larson with an O-N, Connecticut. Lee, Nevada. Levin, California. Liccardo, California. Liu, California. Lofgren, California. Lynch, Massachusetts. Magaziner, Rhode Island. Mannion, New York. McBride, LGBTQ+, and openly transgender. Sad. Very sad. McLean Delaney, Maryland. McCollum, Minnesota. McDonald Revitt, Michigan. McGarvey, Kentucky. McGovern, Massachusetts. Meeks, New York. Min, California. Morell, New York. Morrison, Minnesota. Moskowitz, Florida. Mervyn, Indiana. Nadler, New York. Neal, Massachusetts. Olszewski, Maryland. Pallone, New Jersey. Panetta, California. Pappas, New Hampshire. LGBTQ+. Perez, Washington. Peters, California. Pooh, New Jersey. Raskin, Maryland. deeply disappointed. Riley, New York. Rivas, California. Ross, North Carolina. Ryan, New York. Schneider, Illinois. Scholten, Michigan. Shire, Washington. Scott, Georgia. Sherrill, New Jersey. Smith, Washington. Sorensen, Illinois, LGBTQ+. Soda, Florida. Stanton, Arizona. Stevens, Michigan. Swazi, New York. Doesn't surprise me in the least. Tacano, California, LGBTQ+. Titus, Nevada. Trahan, Massachusetts. Tran, California. Vargas, California. Wasserman Schultz, Florida. Whitesides, California. Shame on you. Every single one of you. Every single one of you. You could take a stand against gun violence and political violence without elevating Charlie Kirk. Did any one of you as Democrats, try to pass a resolution like that when Melissa Hortman and her husband were killed? Did you? I don't think you did. And the Republicans never would have signed on to any of that. They literally made fun of it. Mike Lee went on Twitter after the shooting and called it Nightmare on Wall Street, and then tried to blame a Marxist for their killing. But of course he took that post down, the coward that he is, as soon as he found out that the Marxist wasn't a Marxist but a right-winger. And let me remind you that 75% of the political killings in this country are carried out by right-wingers, not left-wingers. Now, I'm going to tell you that I am a Democrat, and I've been a Democrat all my life, but I am really pissed off that this even happened. And I am really pissed off that they rallied around this, because they could have not voted at all, and it still would have passed. We do not need to aid and abet the fascists in this country. We need to fight the fascists in this country. And as for Gavin Newsom, I support everything that he's doing to fight back against Trump, but I do not want him to be on the top of the Democratic Party ballot. He is a man who consorted and sat with Charlie Kirk and had him as the first guest on his podcast, where they talked smack about transgender people together, that they shouldn't be playing sports. You are either a Democrat or you're not a Democrat. You are either in favor of democracy, you are either in favor of equal rights for everybody, you are either against hate speech, or you are not. And clearly, it's easy for these 95 Democrats to compromise themselves so that they can kiss the ring of the Republican Party, a party that is slowly but surely taking rights away from all of these people who aren't right-wingers, who support the masked thugs that are going into communities and trying to deport and arrest American citizens. They are not going after criminals. They are going after anyone who isn't white. Charlie Kirk was a racist, a misogynist, and a homophobe. He is not someone that should ever be elevated or celebrated. His killing should be condemned. And that's where it stops. I will talk to you all later.